The vast expanse of the command bridge aboard the Celestial Vanguard was bathed in a soft ambient glow, casting an ethereal light on the faces of its crew. Commander Lena Hayes adjusted the collar of her uniform, a modern reinterpretation of Earth's military attire, as she gazed out into the void of space. They were light years away from their home planet, standing at the threshold of a monumental moment in human history, the first diplomatic encounter with the Echelon Assembly, a coalition of interstellar species. Beside her, Dr. Elias Kwan, the ship's chief exobiologist, nervously flicked through his holopad, his fingers a blur of anxious energy. His eyes darted around the bridge, taking in the diverse assembly of alien species visible on the view screen. The crystalline Centauri, with their faceted bodies refracting light into a spectrum of colors, hovered near the edges, their movements slow and deliberate. The Zelnath, towering insectoid beings, stood in clusters, their multifaceted eyes watching the humans with an unreadable intensity. Meanwhile, the ethereal luminari floated in their containment fields, their bodies composed of pure light and energy, pulsing rhythmically. The bridge was thick with anticipation, a palpable tension that crackled in the air. The ship's AI, an advanced construct named Athena, broke the silence. Commencing first contact protocols. Human delegation, please proceed to the designated docking area for decontamination and entry. Lena exchanged a steadying glance with Elias, her heart pounding. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, her footsteps echoing on the metallic floor. As the airlock hissed open, she felt the weight of centuries of human ambition and fear on her shoulders. The first steps of humanity into the grand alliance of galactic civilizations were about to begin. As the human delegation stepped into the docking area, they were enveloped in a swirling mist of sterilizing agents. Lena's senses were momentarily overwhelmed by the chemical tang in the air, but she maintained her composure. Beside her, Elias took deep, steadying breaths, his holopad now securely tucked under his arm. The decontamination process was completed with a soft chime, and the doors slid open to reveal the central chamber of the Echelon Assembly's flagship. The room was an architectural marvel, a seamless blend of advanced technology and alien artistry. Intricate patterns of light danced across the walls, creating a dynamic tapestry that seemed to tell stories of countless civilizations. A hush fell over the chamber as the humans made their entrance. Lena's eyes were immediately drawn to the central dais, where a figure of commanding presence stood. The being was of the Luminaris, its form shifting and glowing with a mesmerizing luminescence. It raised a slender appendage, and a wave of tranquility seemed to wash over the room. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," the Luminaris intoned, its voice a harmonious blend of tones that resonated deeply. "I am Orin, Speaker of the Echelon Assembly. We have awaited this day with great anticipation." Lena stepped forward, her voice clear and resolute. "Thank you, Speaker Orin. It is an honor to stand before you. We come in peace, seeking mutual understanding and cooperation." As her words echoed through the chamber, Lena could feel the eyes of the assembled aliens upon her, 1,000 unspoken questions hanging in the air. The tension was palpable, yet within it lay the promise of a new beginning. She glanced at Elias, who gave her a subtle nod of encouragement. Dr. Elias Kwan cleared his throat and addressed the assembly. "We understand that there are many questions about our biology. Humans breathe oxygen, and while we've identified that this element is abundant on our planet, we haven't fully grasped the underlying mechanisms that allow us to process it so effectively. It's a fundamental part of our existence, yet still holds many mysteries." From the human delegation, Dr. Mia Turner, a leading biochemist, stepped forward to respond. "Our respiratory and circulatory systems have been designed to use oxygen at a cellular level, converting it into energy through a process called cellular respiration. While the specifics can be complex, the basic principle is that oxygen is vital for our survival, just as your unique elements and compounds are essential to your species. Orin's luminescence brightened, signaling interest. Your biology is indeed fascinating. Understanding these differences will be key to our cooperation. Let us begin our dialogue then, and explore the possibilities of what we might achieve together. For today marks the dawn of a new era. The chamber filled with a soft, collective hum of agreement from the diverse assembly. Lena felt a surge of hope. This was the moment they had prepared for, and despite the challenges ahead, she knew that humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The dialogue commenced with a series of formal introductions and exchanges of cultural pleasantries. Lena and Elias, accompanied by a small team of diplomats and scientists, took their seats at the central table. The chamber's acoustics carried each word with perfect clarity, ensuring no nuance was lost. Orin initiated the discussion with a gesture, and a holographic map of the galaxy sprang to life above the table, highlighting key regions and points of interest. The Echelon Assembly is comprised of diverse species, each contributing unique strengths and perspectives. We are keen to understand what the people of Earth can offer to this grand alliance. Lena nodded, her mind racing through the rehearsed points. Earth's contributions are many, but foremost among them is our resilience and ingenuity. Our technology, particularly in fields such as energy production and medical sciences, has seen significant advancements. We believe these can complement the existing technologies within the Assembly. Elias chimed in, his enthusiasm cutting through his earlier nervousness. Additionally, our research into environmental sustainability and adaptation could provide valuable insights. Earth's varied ecosystems have taught us much about coexistence and resource management. The Zelnath representative, a towering figure with an imposing presence, leaned forward. Your technological prowess is known to us, but what of your willingness to share these advancements? Trust is earned, not given. Lena met the Zelnath's gaze steadily. We understand the importance of trust and transparency. Our intention is to build partnerships based on mutual respect and benefit. We propose an initial exchange program, allowing for shared research and development projects. This will foster trust and demonstrate our commitment to the Assembly's goals. Murmurs of consideration rippled through the Assembly. The Centauri representative, their crystalline form refracting light in a dazzling display, spoke next. Your proposal is intriguing. The potential for collaborative growth is vast. However, we must address the matter of biological compatibility. Your species' biochemistry is significantly different from ours. Elias nodded, having anticipated this concern. Indeed, our biology presents unique challenges, but also unique opportunities. We have brought extensive data on human physiology and our interactions with various environments. With careful study and controlled conditions, we believe we can find safe and beneficial ways to coexist. Orin's glow softened, a signal of contemplation. Your words carry promise, but actions will solidify your place among us. Let us proceed with caution and optimism. The session continued with detailed discussions on logistics, exchange programs, and joint ventures. As the hours passed, Lena felt a cautious optimism take root. This was just the beginning, but already bridges were being built. As the meeting drew to a close, Orin addressed the Assembly. Today marks a significant step forward. Let us embrace this opportunity with open minds and hearts. Together, we can achieve greatness. The chamber resonated with a harmonious agreement, and Lena allowed herself a small, hopeful smile. The path ahead was long and fraught with challenges, but humanity had taken its first steps into a broader, more connected galaxy. One evening, after a particularly long session, Lena stood alone on one of the observation decks of the Celestial Vanguard. The vastness of space stretched out before her, stars twinkling like distant beacons of hope. She took a deep breath, trying to absorb the magnitude of their achievement and the challenges still ahead. A soft footfall behind her broke her reverie. She turned to see Orin approaching, their luminescent form glowing softly in the dim light. "Commander Hayes," Orin began, their voice gentle. "May I join you?" "Of course," Lena replied, offering a small smile. They stood in silence for a moment, gazing at the stars. "I wanted to thank you," Orin said eventually. "Your leadership and dedication have not gone unnoticed. You have navigated a path that few could have managed." Lena felt a swell of pride, but tempered it with humility. "Thank you, Orin. It's been a collective effort. We all want this alliance to succeed." Orin nodded, their glow intensifying slightly. "There is something I must share with you. A matter of great importance to the Echelon Assembly. We have encountered a threat from a rogue faction known as the Nihilum. They oppose our unity and seek to disrupt the peace we have worked so hard to maintain." Lena's eyes widened with concern. "What kind of threat are we talking about?" "The Nihilum are technologically advanced and possess a deep-seated hatred for the Assembly's ideals. They believe in the isolation and supremacy of their species over all others. Their attacks have been sporadic but increasingly destructive. We fear they may target Earth to weaken our growing alliance." Lena's mind raced, contemplating the implications. "We need to prepare. Strengthen our defenses, share intelligence. This alliance must stand united against such threats." Orin's luminescence dimmed momentarily, a sign of agreement. "Precisely. We have already begun coordinating with your security forces, but we will need your expertise and strategic insight. The Nihilum are cunning, and their methods unpredictable." Lena squared her shoulders, a newfound resolve settling over her. "We'll face this together. Humanity stands ready to defend not just Earth, but the principles of unity and cooperation that bind us." Orin extended a luminescent appendage, and Lena shook it, feeling the warmth of their light. "Thank you, Commander. Your spirit is truly remarkable." As Orin departed, Lena turned back to the stars, her mind now focused on the looming threat. The journey towards interstellar unity was far from over, and new challenges awaited. But with allies like Orin and the strength of their shared ideals, she felt confident that they could overcome any obstacle. In the days that followed, the threat of the Nihilum loomed over the alliance like a dark shadow. Lena, alongside her team and the representatives of the Echelon Assembly, worked tirelessly to bolster their defenses and strategize for the potential conflict. Meetings became more frequent, and the atmosphere grew tense as they prepared for the unknown. One particularly grueling session had just concluded when Lena received an urgent message from Athena, the ship's AI. "Commander Hayes, please report to the Strategic Operations Room immediately." Athena's voice filled the room. "We've detected an unusual spike in Nihilum activity near the Orion sector. They appear to be mobilizing a significant fleet." Lena's brow furrowed. "What's their target?" Elias stepped forward, his holopad displaying streams of data. "Our intelligence suggests they may be aiming for Parnassus Station, a key logistics hub for our alliance. If they take it out, our supply lines will be severely disrupted." Orin's glow flickered with concern. Parnassus Station is also a symbol of our unity. Its loss would be both a strategic and moral blow. Lena nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. "We can't let that happen. We need a plan to defend Parnassus and counter the Nihilum's advance." As the preparations were underway, Lena took a moment to address the assembled officers. "We stand on the brink of a critical battle. Our unity and resolve will be tested But we must remember what we're fighting for. This is not just about defending a station, it's about protecting the future we've all worked so hard to build together. A chorus of affirmations followed, the room charged with a renewed sense of purpose. Lena turned to Orin. We need to ensure the safety of the civilians on Parnassus. Can we coordinate an evacuation plan? Orin's glow brightened in agreement. Yes, we will initiate evacuation protocols immediately. Every life is precious. With the plan set in motion, Lena felt a mixture of anxiety and determination. The hours leading up to the battle were filled with final checks and briefings. She took a moment to review the tactical maps, committing the key details to memory. As the Allied fleets converged around Parnassus Station, the vastness of space was filled with the silent anticipation of impending conflict. Lena stood on the bridge of the celestial vanguard, her gaze fixed on the stars ahead. The fate of their alliance hinged on the outcome of this battle. All units prepare for engagement, she commanded, her voice steady and resolute. Let's show the Nihilum what we stand for. The first flashes of light signaled the beginning of the battle. Ships maneuvered with precision, lasers and missiles streaking through the void. The celestial vanguard shuddered as it unleashed its arsenal, the intensity of the engagement growing with each passing moment. Through the chaos, Lena's mind remained sharp, issuing orders and adapting to the rapidly changing battlefield. Beside her, Elias provided critical updates and tactical insights. The bridge crew worked in unison, their actions a testament to their training and determination. As the battle raged on, Lena felt a surge of hope. The unity and cooperation they had fostered were now their greatest strengths. Together, they could face any threat, no matter how formidable. The struggle was far from over, but at that moment, Lena knew they were ready. Humanity, alongside their new allies, would fight for their future and emerge stronger than ever. The battle for Parnassus Station reached a fever pitch. The Nihilum fleet, dark and menacing, pressed their attack with relentless ferocity. The Allied forces, though diverse, fought with a unified resolve that seemed to surprise even the Nihilum. Lena could feel the strain of the engagement, each decision a crucial step in a delicate dance of survival and strategy. Commander Hayes, Athena's voice cut through the cacophony of the battle. The Nihilum flagship is approaching. Its weapon systems are charging. Lena's eyes snapped to the tactical display. The Nihilum flagship was an imposing vessel, bristling with advanced weaponry. If it reached the firing range of Parnassus Station, the damage could be catastrophic. Focus all available firepower on the flagship, she ordered. We need to take it out before it can fire. The Celestial Vanguard and its allied ships concentrated their attacks, beams of energy and volleys of missiles converging on the Nihilum flagship. Explosions rippled across its surface, but the ship continued its advance, undeterred. Elias, his face etched with determination, pointed to a critical point on the display. Their shield generators are vulnerable here. If we can disable them, we might have a chance. Lena nodded, relaying the coordinates to the fleet. All units, target the shield generators. We need to bring those shields down. The coordinated assault intensified. The Nihilum flagship's shields flickered, struggling to hold against the barrage. Finally, with a brilliant flash, the shields collapsed. The Allied forces didn't hesitate, pouring their firepower into the exposed sections of the ship. Inside the bridge, the tension was palpable. Lena watched as the Nihilum flagship began to break apart, secondary explosions tearing through its structure. We're almost there, she urged, her voice a mix of hope and urgency. Suddenly, a massive energy surge emanated from the flagship, its weapon systems overloading in a last-ditch effort to retaliate. The blast wave rippled through space, impacting several Allied ships, including the Celestial Vanguard. The ship shuddered violently, alarms blaring as systems struggled to compensate. "Damage report," Lena shouted, gripping the edge of the command console. Athena responded swiftly. "We have multiple hull breaches on decks 3 and 5. Shield integrity is compromised, but we are still operational." Lena took a deep breath, her resolve hardening. "Keep firing. We can't let them recover." The Nihilum flagship, now a wreck of burning debris, began to lose its structural integrity. The Allied forces pressed their advantage, dismantling the remnants of the enemy fleet. One by one, the Nihilum ships fell, unable to withstand the combined might of the Alliance. As the last of the Nihilum vessels retreated or were destroyed, a collective sigh of relief echoed through the Celestial Vanguard. The battle was won, but the cost had been high. Lena allowed herself a brief moment of respite, her gaze sweeping over the damaged but victorious fleet. Elias turned to her, a weary but triumphant smile on his face. "We did it, Lena. Parnassus Station is safe." Lena nodded, feeling the weight of the victory settle over her. "We did, but we must remain vigilant. The Nihilum will not give up easily." This was just the beginning. The response was immediate, a wave of affirmations and renewed determination. Lena knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, but with allies like these, she was confident that they could face whatever came next. Months passed since the decisive battle at Parnassus Station, and the Alliance had grown stronger. The threat of the Nihilum, while ever present, had been significantly diminished by the united efforts of humanity and the Echelon Assembly. The Celestial Vanguard, once a lone envoy, now stood as a symbol of interstellar cooperation and resilience. Lena stood once again on the observation deck, her gaze drifting over the bustling activity within the fleet. Repairs had been completed, new ships had joined their ranks, and the exchange programs had yielded breakthroughs that neither species could have achieved alone. The sense of shared purpose was palpable, a far cry from the tentative steps of their first contact. A soft chime from her comm device drew Lena's attention. It was a message from Orin. "Commander Hayes, the Council is ready to convene for the finalization of the Alliance Charter. Your presence is requested." Lena took a deep breath, her heart swelling with a mixture of pride and anticipation. This was the moment they had all worked towards, a formal, binding agreement that would solidify their unity and pave the way for a future of shared prosperity and peace. As she entered the Grand Council chamber, the assembled representatives rose to greet her. Orin, glowing with a bright, welcoming light, stood at the center. "Commander Hayes, your leadership has brought us to this pivotal moment. It is time to formalize our commitment to one another." Lena took her place beside Orin, a ceremonial document displayed on the holographic table before them. "We, the united members of the Echelon Assembly and the representatives of Earth, hereby pledge our cooperation, our resources, and our collective will to the betterment of all species within this galaxy. Together, we will face any threat, overcome any challenge, and forge a future built on mutual respect and understanding." The chamber resonated with a harmonious agreement as each representative added their unique signature to the document. When it was Lena's turn, she placed her hand on the holographic interface, her signature glowing brightly as it joined the others. As the final signature was added, Orin raised their luminescent appendages in a gesture of celebration. "Let this day be remembered as the dawn of a new era. The bonds we have formed here will serve as a foundation for generations to come." The chamber erupted in applause, a unified expression of joy and hope. Lena felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that their efforts had culminated in something truly extraordinary. After the ceremony, Lena found a quiet moment to speak with Elias, who had been instrumental in their scientific collaborations. We've come a long way, Elias, from those uncertain first steps to this incredible achievement. Lena's heart swelled with hope and determination. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as partners in a grand alliance. Together, they would navigate the unknown, explore new frontiers, and ensure that the light of cooperation and peace would shine brightly across the galaxy for all time. And so, with the stars as their guide and the strength of their unity as their foundation, they ventured forth into the endless expanse of the universe, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead.